Hello, Brew Crew. So, apparently, the month of June only lasts 31 seconds and not 31 days. It just flew by. So, I decided to do a bit of a recap of the gaming experiences that I had this month. If it's something that goes over well or that I find I enjoy doing, then I may make this a regular thing. So, overall, I played fewer games in June than normal. I took a promotion at my real job, which has meant some more late nights and has cut down on my time to play games and make videos. But as I become more familiar with my new role, that should level out and things should get back to normal soon. But I was able to attend Origins, which was fantastic. Lots of good food and good friends, and while I managed to play some games while I was there, I was most happy about all the new people that I was able to meet. I really have met some of the coolest people through this hobby. All right, so let's talk about the games that I played this month. First up is Lords of Hellas. This is an impressive area control, troops on a map style game from Awakened Realms. It has really cool miniatures and huge god statues, which almost never get to be fully built. But they look so cool on the table. It's the type of game that has multiple victory conditions, which I really like. You always have to be paying attention to the board state and know when an opponent is getting close to reaching one of those goals. I didn't back Lords of Ragnarok, unfortunately, but I kind of wish that I had. So if anyone I know has got a copy on the way, let me know. I'd love to play it and see what's new. I had a friend teach me Bear Raid from Allplay, formerly BoardGameTables.com, while we were at Origins. This is a pretty clever stock commodity speculation game. You're buying, selling, and shorting stocks to try to make the most money, and each round the players have the opportunity to manipulate how the market will fluctuate. For some reason, I really struggled through the first half to 3/4 of this game, which I'm going to chalk up to convention exhaustion because it's not really that heavy or complex a game at all. But I had a hard time wrapping my head around it, at least how to play it well. I picked up on it by the end of the game. Unfortunately, that was way too late to help my chances of winning, but overall, I think this game is really fun. I love games with a dynamic market aspect, and that's pretty much the main focus of this game. I'd like to play it again when I'm actually well rested and see how I do then. Just last week, we played Underwater Cities with the New Discoveries expansion. Underwater Cities is a game that I really enjoy playing, but it's always felt a little too long for me. That's not to say that I don't like long games. Twilight Imperium is one of my favorite games of all time. But to me, Underwater Cities just felt like it was a few rounds too long for the amount of enjoyment that I got out of the game. I had heard that the New Discoveries expansion helped with the game length a little bit, and I will say that it did help a bit. You play one fewer rounds, and you have some starting resources that cut down on the amount of time that you have to spend building up to start taking more meaningful actions later in the game. The expansion also added artifacts that you can discover for bonuses, which I liked as well. In the end, I didn't feel like it shortened up the game by as much as I had hoped, but while I probably won't be adding this game to my collection, I'll happily play it with somebody else. June kind of felt like the month of card games for me, and I played a few that I really had fun with. First up was Photograph, or Wind the Film if you have the original version. This is a little Sashi and Sashi game that has finally been brought over to the US. It's got a really fun hand management mechanic where you are only allowed to rearrange the order of one of your cards in your hand each turn. And you always have to play down as many cards as you picked up, and in the exact order that they are in your hand. You're trying to play down sets of colored cards in numerical order, but these restrictions make it very difficult to play exactly what you want. I'm not sure that it went over all that well with everyone in the group that I played it with, but I still really like this game. Then we played one that I really didn't expect to like, and that's Gorus Maximus. I hadn't really looked into this game all that much because based on the name and the art, I assumed that it was some kind of either card battler or take that style game. In actuality, it's a pretty neat trick-taking game where players have the chance to change the trump suit in the middle of a trick. There are rules as to how and when this can happen, and there may be times where you don't want to win a trick because it has too many negative point cards. But another interesting thing about this game is that it's not about how many tricks you win, but how many points you score during a hand. The first player to outscore their opponents in 3 hands wins the game. I liked this one a lot more than I expected to, and I actually really appreciate the over-the-top artwork from Kwanchai Moria. And the second trick-taking game that I played in June was Skull King. I'd always heard great things about this game, but I usually don't care as much for trick-taking games where you have to bid on how many tricks you'll win. Skull King is interesting though because each round you increase your hand size by 1 card, from 1 card in the first round to 10 cards in the final round. Starts off pretty easy to win your bid, but by the end it can be very difficult because there's so much more to consider. Also, there are cards in the deck that have special powers like Pirates, which can win even if a trump card is played. Escape cards, which will always be the lowest card. And the Skull King, which basically wins everything and will give you bonus points for capturing other pirate cards. Finally, I played Mango Cabana, a game from my friends over at Valor Mountain Games. This is a very light set collection style game about collecting different fruit-themed acts for your nightclub. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about this one in this video because I'll be putting out a full review of this one soon. Alright everyone, that's my recap for June 2023. Let me know in the comments what you think of these games if you played them. Also, I'd love to know what your favorite games that you played in June was. I'd also like to encourage everyone to go check out my Origins vlog series if you haven't already. I had a lot of fun making it and met some really fantastic people while there. But that's it for this video, and until next time, let's get another round for the table.